Hey guys, how's it going? Mario here. Just wanted to do another video. Now we're doing another stippling project, and this time it's going to be a Glock. This is my Glock 23 Gen 3. This is actually my first pistol that I ever purchased, and of course there's a couple things that I did. I ended up putting these grip tape all around the gun, and although it serves its purpose, I feel that this gun definitely deserves something better, and we're gonna start a stippling project. Okay, if you guys have seen my previous video in regards to the stippling job I did on the high point, we're hoping we can achieve the same with this gun. And the biggest thing is that this is my actual home defense pistol, and I definitely want to just have a better grip than what I currently have. Now, there's nothing wrong with the current grip tape that I have on there. I think it's I just don't feel comfortable with it anymore, especially after I did the high point. You know, you have a tendency of I guess what they say, once you go stippling, or once you stipple one of your guns, you pretty much want to do all of them the same way. So this will be our next project with this one. I'm not going to go too much in depth of how I'm doing it, or watch me stipple the whole damn gun, because that'll be a pretty boring video. But I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I'll be doing. Of course, I'm going to probably take off all of this, some of the serrations that we have in the back and the front. We're probably going to keep it all nice and even. Of course, get rid of the grip tape. But I definitely want to put some stippling right here, because this is where my fingers rest on both sides. And I want to put it on both sides because there's times where, you know, I may have friends or family that want to shoot this gun, and I am the only one that's left-handed. You know, I'm pretty sure the majority of my family are right-handed, so I want to make sure that if they use this gun, that it's friendly to them as well. So here's some of the things that I'll be doing, guys. Now, some of the stuff that I purchased is not high-end stuff, just stuff that I have a Harbor Freight Tools less than a mile away from my house, and you know, they always seem to have some convenient stuff and stuff that just gets the job done. You're not really paying a lot. Of course, I bought this rotary, I don't know how you say that, I'm sorry guys, little Dremel here, or their version of a Dremel. So we're gonna check it out. Hopefully it'll do the job. I think I only paid like 10 bucks for that, and paid $5 for the stone bits, and I think I paid maybe $9 or $8 for this soldering iron, and it's a winner. So, you know, I'm not spending a lot to do my projects, and that's always good. So we're gonna get started on doing this this Glock here, and see how it turns out at the end. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I'll be doing once I take all this nasty grip tape out of there. Okay guys, so the tape was able to come off real good. There's what's left of it. So we're gonna go ahead and start using the Dremel and start smoothing all the stuff off, and hopefully it'll be a lot better once we get it all nice and sanded. Once we do that, then we're gonna go ahead and start with the stippling. So we're gonna get started with sanding some of the stuff off. Okay guys, so now we're gonna got ourselves a better bit for the job, because the other one wasn't really doing a good job. So we're hoping, yep, this one definitely does the job. We're gonna sand this bad boy off. Now this Dremel sucks, and not the greatest. but it's getting the job done. Okay guys, so we're coming along. This stuff is taking a little longer to sand off than we needed to, but we're getting there. As you guys can see, it's coming along. We're keeping the Glock logo like I stated before. By the way, when you guys do this, account for that. That's a lot of dust. Make sure you guys are in a well ventilated area. I am here in my garage. But also just keep an eye on the stuff, you know, make sure you wear eye protection, and if you guys can wear you know, a little mask, just so you don't get a lot of those dust particles in your lungs. You know, the stuff is pretty toxic, so you know, just kind of keep an eye when you guys are doing the stippling and getting all the stuff done. But so far so good guys, and I'll show you guys when it's complete. Alright guys, so now we sanded this bad boy off. Of course this part was still the hardest. You don't have to get it 100%, just enough so that you can start the stippling. Of course I kept the Glock logo. You know, I sanded all the areas that I'm going to be stippling on. I just kept the Glock ink instead of keeping the whole thing. That was just my preference. Of course you guys can do whatever you want, of course it's your gun. But we sanded it off and sanded this part as much as we could. Don't really need to do that much of a sanding off in there. I got most of it. The biggest thing that I focused on when I did this is I really like the finger groove. I really do. You know, just because it reminds me so much of the M4, the AR-15, and you know, all those years that I used that weapon, that you know, I wanted to keep that. I also made a bigger sanding area right here underneath the trigger here, underneath the trigger weld or trigger guard, so I just have a better grip on this here. Before I had a tendency of just being straight and not curved like I did here, so that helps me get a better grip of the gun. If you guys ever notice, it's this portion here, the trigger guard, has a tendency of being a little bit more pointy. I kind of sanded it off a little bit, and of course I'm going to be doing stippling right here because you know, actually a good friend of mine that shoots my gun once in a while, he has a tendency of gripping it from the front of the trigger guard, you know, and that helps him have a steady shot. So you know, whatever you guys want to do. My biggest thing is when I go and shoot, I always bring friends so they can shoot my guns as well, and vice versa. You know, we all trade in and look at each other's guns and see what's the good, the bad, and ugly with it. Now, of course, guys, if you guys want to do an outline of what you guys want to do, kind of design you want to do, I mean, you're welcome to do it. I'm pretty much just going to stipple this whole area here, and of course this portion here. So I really don't need to do an outline per se, but if you're looking for a certain design that you're going for, then you know, of course you want to go that route. So that's just a preference on yourself and what you guys want to do. But it's looking good so far, and we're gonna start getting ready for the stippling and seeing how this goes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my shop towel again, and I'm gonna clean this thing real good before I start doing any kind of stippling. So make sure you clean the weapon real good after you're done the sanding off. There's going to be a lot of little fine dust particles on this thing. So my biggest thing is don't get those caught in when you start doing the stippling, because then it has a tendency of leaving a lot of little hairlines on your stippling job, and it just doesn't look good. So you know, take your time, do this thing the right way. Like I tell you, this is a way of doing things. I'm not telling you this is a way for you to do it. This is my way. This is how it's going to work for me, and that's the reason why I made this video. Now there's a lot of videos that deal with stippling on the Glocks or any guns, and everybody has their own way. So you just got to look at what best works for you and just go that route, and hopefully you'll like what I do at the end, and then hopefully it'll turn out as good as my previous pistol did, which was a high point. So stay tuned guys, I'll start getting ready to stippling.